Hi students, I am Dr. M. Ashraf Majroo, Professor of Community Medicine. I welcome you in the learning session of data processing. This is the second session on medical and biostatistics. The agenda of this session include recap of previous session, steps of data processing, scanning of tool, scrutiny of variables, selection of appropriate statistical softwares, coding of data on software and creation of data entry files, data entry and cleaning, data transformation and recoding. So let's have the recap of previous session. In previous session, in the introduction of statistics, we talked about the data and statistics. Data is the plural of datum, a Latin word. It is the information recorded in categorical responses are measurement scales and it generates the statistics. Data are classified on the basis of nature of variables. Then we have the brief on data collection tool in the previous session. A document or tool on which initial information or data are recorded is called questionnaire or data collection tool. We will give you the example of this data collection tool and segregate the variables. Now, what is variable? Each question or query against which different responses are expected, such as age, gender, race, these are known as variables. The expected options against each variable is called attribute, such as male versus female, yes/no are numeric responses like height, weight, hemoglobin, and cholesterol levels. The variables and the data from this typical data collection tool can be segregated to understand the nature of the variables. The variables are classified mainly into two categories: quantitative or numeric variables, qualitative or categorical variables. If we segregate these variables from this data collection form, we have the quantitative variables like age, weight, height, episodes of COVID, and number of persons contacted. On the other hand, these are the qualitative or numeric variables. On the other hand, the qualitative or categorical variables in this dataset includes the name, gender, nationality, testing of COVID, COVID status, comorbidity, and vaccination status and grade of illness. These are all these variables. They are categorical variables. Now there is sub-classification of quantitative variable as well as the qualitative variable. In quantitative variables, we have continuous quantitative variables. These are the age, weight, and height. And then is the discrete variables. These are the episodes of diarrhea and number of persons contacted. On the other hand, the categorical variables are again divided into two categories. One are the nominal variables, which are coded with green color. These are the name, gender, nationality, testing status of COVID, COVID-19 status, comorbidity, vaccination status, and these are the nominal variables. On the other hand, the variables which can be categorized in order, these are the ordinal variables, and the grade of illness in these variable is the ordinal variable. So this is the classification and sub-classification of variables. This is important for the data analysis and processing. Let's see the steps for the data processing. The first step in data processing is review of data collection tools and scrutiny of variables. This is objectively done for scanning and planning of the data for analysis. Then step 2 is the selection of software and coding of variables or attributes. This step is for the creation of data entry files. The third step is the data entry, cleaning, manipulation and recoding of variables. And this is meant for creation of new variables from the raw data, entered data. The next step is the step 4. Then we run the descriptive analysis, make the data summaries. And similarly in fifth step we have the advanced analysis, that is the inferential analysis using test of significance. So this is the complete process of data and the data analysis steps. Let's see the steps one by one. So if we review the questionnaire, the objective of review of the questionnaire or scrutiny of questionnaire includes scanning and selection of variables for analysis, then planning of analysis, then transformation and manipulation of variables after the data entry. These includes the quantitative variable to qualitative or group data, qualitative to quantitative variables, and manipulation from simple to composite variables. We will see the details of these steps. Now scanning and planning. Scanning and planning is done to depict the variables needed to be included in the data analysis, mark the nature and the classification of the variables, depict the variables to be recoded or transformed into new variables, and to identify independent and dependent variables. Identify mutually exclusive and exhaustive attributes. Plan the data analysis and inferential statistics. So this is the scanning and planning step. Now, scanning of the data collection tool, how we scan. The queries in scanning is first query is variable not to be included in data entry or analysis. If we look at these variables, there are some variables which are not useful to be included for the data analysis. For example, name is for the identification. It may not be included in data entry. Similarly, registration number is also for the identification, may or may not be included. Similarly, district code, sometime it is needed and sometime it may not be included. And the vaccination card number may not be included for analysis. The next query is variable needed recoding or transformation into class data. If we look at these variables, the age, weight, height, and the hemoglobin level, these are the variables which can be recoded into class data or categorical data. The variables needed to be converted into ordinal scales. There are some variables which are they are originally in numeric variables, but they can be they can be transformed into categorical ordinal variables. Similarly, the example is weight and the other example is hemoglobin. The hemoglobin can be categorized into anemia, mild anemia, moderate and severe anemia. So these are the variables which can be converted into ordinal scale. Originally they are generated in numeric form. Mutually exclusive are binary dichotomous variables. There are some variables examples. The example is the gender. The male or female, either response is possible. And similarly, vaccination status, yes or no. These are the binary variables or dichotomous variables. Lastly, the dependent and independent variables. Usually the outcome of various variable is the disease or disease related effect. So the dependent variables are few, but most of the variables are independent. In this example, diarrhea is the ultimately disease under study. So this is the dependent variable. Or malnutrition, category of malnutrition may be the dependent variable. Most of the other variables, they are falling in the independent category. Now, selection of statistical software. This is very important step in data processing. Commonly available options are API-Info. This is the WHO statistical software, and it is free download available, and it is commonly used for analysis. And the characteristic of this software is that the questionnaire can be generated and coded initially in the software. Then is the SPSS. It is also commonly used statistical program for social sciences, and it is also freely downloaded. Then APISTAT free download is available. Then SAS program is a registered program, and it can be purchased. This is the statistical analysis software. Then is the use of Microsoft Excel options for analysis can be exercised for data analysis. Uh, Moreover, the objectively developed multiple software are available with institutions and organizations. They are objectively designed and purchased, and they can be used for the statistical analysis. So let's move to other step, the generation of data entry files. Once the software is selected, then the data entry files are generated according to the selected software. We have to assign entry code to categorical or qualitative variables. The codes may be numeric or alphabets. Preferably, the numeric codes are preferred because they can be easily entered through key numpad. We have to transform the numeric data into class data if it is objectively needed after the data entry before analysis. And the data entry file in the software is generated by coding all the selected variables in the data collection tool. So this is how the data entry files they are generated. And this is the example how the coding is done. For example, the patient name and registration we have already excluded, not to be included in analysis. If we talk about the other variables, the male and female, they are coded as male is equal to 1 and female is equal to 2. Similarly, the district code is serial number against the district name. And then is the moderate to severe. These are the mild 1, moderate 2, and severe 3. This is how the coding is done. The numeric variables, they are usually entered as such, and they are liable to be recoded after the data entry. For example, age entered as such and as numeric variable and recodable after the data entry. Similarly, weight, height, uh, they are entered in numeric form and they are recodable through the computer software. SPSS data file variable view is interesting to note here. This is the SPSS variable view. The variables are coded. First is the short name of the variable, then is the type of the variable, and then is the appropriate label, detailed label of the variable, and then is the value labels. Most important for the coding is the value labels. If we look at the value labels, these are the value labels for house officer and postgraduate resident. Instead of writing house officer, or postgraduate resident, we write 1 or 2. Similarly, for male is 1 and female is 2. So this is how similarly each variable is coded like this. Then this is the variable coded variable, and this is the string variable or qualitative variable. All string variables in computer language, they are known as qualitative variable, and these are the numeric variable. Another variable, the time, how long it take to reach the destination. This is the time, and this is the numeric variable. So this is the variable view where all the variables are coded, whether they are qualitative or quantitative. Here is the data view of the SPSS file, and here we can observe the data is entered in num. This is the designation. Designation is a house officer and PG trainee, and these are, instead of writing 1 2 1 2, this is the coding, and similarly year of training, then gender uh, is coded and the codes are entered. Similarly, the numeric data is entered in times. So this is the data view of the SPSS data file. Data entry and cleaning is a next step, and recoding in different variables is also included. The data entered into computer software by numeric alphabet keys as explained in previous slide. Then data cleaning is done by browsing entries and running the simple descriptive operations. The illogical entries and missing key punch are detected and rectified. The missing values are identified and coded. The data is transformed and recoded by the transformation function of the software. Then is the data recoding and transformation. The data originally generated as numeric data can be recoded and transformed into class interval or group data. This is the one condition. And in second condition, data originally generated as numerical data can be transformed into logical or ordinal categorical categories or ordinal data scales. Data originally generated as qualitative ordinal scales, commonly known as Likert scales, can be transformed into numeric data. This is the third condition, and in fourth condition of transformation, the transformation of multiple numeric or categorical variables to binary dichotomous variables like disease, yes or no. This is the binary decision, and behind it is the large amount of data from which we have to develop this composite indicator. The transformation of numeric data to the categorical data or class data. So if we look at this, this is the data set. The cholesterol level of 20 adult men, they are given, and originally this data is generated in numeric form, and this can be converted into class data. Let's see how this can be converted into class data. Sorting data into different classes. Identify the minimum and maximum values in the dataset. Decide the class interval and number of classes according to the span of the data. Sort the data into respective classes. So these are the steps. Let's see how this data is sorted into various classes. These are the class intervals, and there is 25 milligram per deciliter is the class width, and these are the 6 classes out of the span of this data, and here we can note the frequency. If we sort the data in these classes, then 210 will go into class number 3, and in last class 295 falls in last class, and 190 fall in second class. Similarly, 150 fall in first class, and again 221 fall in third class, and so on. So this is how the data is sorted into different classes. In computer, sorting is automatically carried out through the software, and manually this is the tally method of data sorting. Now we can see the data is sorted into all the data items have been sorted into these 6 classes, and the frequency tables frequencies are generated. Now, what are the guidelines for the class intervals? This is very important to learn. The class interval must be equal. As we have observed in our previous slide, all class intervals are equal. So the first guideline is equal class interval, then first interval must include the minimum value and the last interval must include the maximum value. Similarly, each given value can only be falling in one class, like 21 to 30, 31 to 40. But 20 to 30 and 30 to 40 is not correct. So this is the correct way and this is the wrong way of generation of classes. The class interval must not be too small or too large to adjust according to the and must be adjusted according to the span of the data. So these are the key guideline for the generation of class interval. If we look at this same data, now this data is condensed into 3 classes and it gives more appropriate summaries. Now the class width is of 50 and now 6 classes are merged into 3 classes, and this is the frequency table of this condensed summary of the same data. Now significance and scope of class data or group data, estimation of probability in each class, and data distribution is depicted through the group data. Normal distribution and skewed distribution are depicted. Errors and confidence limits are estimated. Descriptive and inferential statistics is applied in class intervals or group data, and decision making is done in class data. Brainstorming for another categorical or ordinal data. What are the logic for the categorical ordinal scales? The brainstorming question: what may be the logic of class interval for age in children? What may be the logic of class interval for height, weight in children? What may be the logic of class interval of blood pressure and blood sugar levels? So to answer these queries, let's see the importance of cutoff values for categories. For age, we have the neonates, infants, toddlers, preschool, school, adult, middle age, old age, and women of childbearing age. So these are the logic. These are the subgroup of the ages, and these are vulnerable groups, and we classify these groups on the basis of these logics, and the class interval in these cases are not equal. Similarly, blood pressure, we objectively categorize hypotensive, normotensive, and hypertensive on the basis of standard critical cutoff values. And now this blood pressure is numeric data. Now when it is described in hypotensive, normotensive, and hypertensive, it will be converted into categorical data. Similarly, blood sugar levels, hypoglycemic, normoglycemic, and hyperglycemic. These are the categories, logical categories based under certain objectives. Then height, short stature, normal height and tall stature. So this is how the cutoff value based logical categories are generated from the numeric data. All these variables are numeric variables and then they are converted into class data, categorical data that may be ordinal or nominal. Transformation of qualitative variables to numeric variables by assigning score. That is another condition in which we change the data originally collected in qualitative variables and then numeric scores are assigned. This is the Likert scale for agreement: strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, strongly disagree. So this is the subjective scale. The responses are taken subjectively from the population and then they are subjected to the numeric scoring. Strongly agree 5 score, agree 4 and neutral 3 and disagree 2 and similarly strongly disagree 1. Similarly, another Likert scale frequency: very frequently, frequently, occasionally, rarely and never. And similarly, the scores are assigned on descending order. The most important in medical practices is the Glasgow Coma Scale scoring. In Glasgow Coma Scale, a score is assigned to various sensory and motor responses uh, to detect the consciousness of the patients. The intensity of the unconsciousness is quantified in the form of score and can also be categorized into ordinal scale. Similarly, in another example, pain score. Score is assigned to subjective feelings of the patients for pain. The intensity of the pain is quantified and can also be converted into ordinal scale. So these are the example where data is originally generated in qualitative form and then it is converted into numerical form and again into ordinal scales. Then is the situation synthesis of binary variable from multiple variables. The disease criteria are based on multiple diverse type of indicators and then the dichotomous status of the disease is decided on the basis of these variables. For example, is the patient suffering from rheumatic heart disease? So to establish the rheumatic heart disease, we have lot of data in the form of diverse type of variables like John's major criteria: polyarthritis, carditis, subcutaneous nodules, erythema marginatum, Sydenham's chorea. So these are the variables. Mostly these variables are the qualitative variables. On the other hand, John's minor criteria is also in the database. That is the previous rheumatic fever history, ECG, prolonged PR interval, arthralgia, CRP and ESR elevated temperature. So if we look at these are the diverse type of variables like ECG PR interval is numeric and arthralgia is qualitative, CRP and ESR they are quantitative and the temperature is also quantitative. So these are the complex variables and ultimately we have to synthesize the binary variables. So then criterion are synthesized: culture positive for staphylococcal infection plus two major criteria are two minor or one major criteria. So this will give you the binary decision for rheumatic heart disease whether disease is present or not present. So this is the dichotomous variable generated from uh, a large background data consisting of multiple variables. So the variable must be synthesized in these cases. Now After this data processing, we run the descriptive analysis on SPSS output file after the data processing. If we look at, this is the SPSS output window, where first inherently the data cleaning options are available. Here the how many valid values and the missing values they are detected through, and this is the process of data cleaning. And then data summaries are generated, descriptive analysis, and this is the frequency table, and this frequency table like male, female, what is the percentage, what is the valid percentage, and cumulative percentage. So this is the output, how we run the analysis after the data processing. So for summary of data processing and analysis, first step, we have already discussed the review of data collection tools and scrutiny of the variables. In second step, the selection of software and coding of variables and attributes as described in previous slides. Similarly, data entry cleaning and recoding and manipulation of the data after its entry. So these three steps, they are in data processing. Then we run the descriptive analysis for descriptive summaries, and then advanced inferential analysis using test of significance. So this is the part of data processing, and this is the part of data analysis. We have completed data processing. Now we will move to the data analysis, descriptive summary, and inferential analysis in the forthcoming session of the statistics. Thank you very much for sparing your precious time.